Welcome to the League of Liberty. My name is Chris Spangle, and we are live at Porcfest. We are performing in front of a crowd of thousands. My name is Chris Spangle from the We Are Libertarians podcast. Right next to me is the lovely, effervescent Roger Paxton.
It's great to be here.
From the Lava Flow. Right down the line is the beautiful, long-haired Mark Clare from
thank you guys.
the Lions of Liberty with the perfect mane.
Thank you.
And now that I'm seeing it in person,
It's everything you wanted it to be?
It's glorious.
Thank you.
Johnny Adams from...
It's the hair version of Roger's beard.
Oh, yeah. Roger's beard.
Imagine this on that. Or vice versa. That would be incredible.
Yeah, fucked up looking beard.
That voice is Johnny Adams from the previously known as the Johnny Rocket Launchpad, and now Blast Off with Johnny Rocket.
That is a firm titty. Yep.
All right.
Affirmative. I meant affirmative.
That is Johnny. Johnny is the sweetest human being I've ever met in my life. Like,
He grabbed my ass. I still can't get over that. He full on grabbed my ass last
Would
night.
you like
And he
to do
doesn't
That,
even
and I
remember.
did that. I don't remember.
would you like to
It must
fire?
have been some really good drinking last night.
It was a really good ass grab. I'm going to be honest.
I know. I got man hands, dude. That's
Would
why.
would you like to file a Me Too complaint?
No, I enjoyed it. Okay.
Now,
Hashtag me too, Roger Paxton.
right. The last person I would think would file a Me Too complaint, but Roger.
Please molest me. Please.
All right.
Just
Ladies.
made Johnny spit out his gin and tonic at 11:30 a.m.
Now we are overlooking what mountains are these, Roger?
These are the White Mountains.
The White Mountains.
The White Mountains?
I am so triggered right now.
Green to me.
How dare you assume the race of these mountains?
I assume nothing.
Okay. And this is a beautiful, beautiful location. We are in the north part of New Hampshire, in Lancaster, New Hampshire, and the Rogers Campground, not yours, but...
No, but the first time we came, my kids thought it was mine. They were
Right.
so excited.
Well, so I checked in at the hotel, the Lancaster Motor Inn, and
That's a classy joint.
it is. So I
We got
have...
cocktails, beverages.
So
we
let
got
me-
servers, waitresses.
Let me
room
tell you
service.
about my check-in experience, because it was kind of funny. So I had looked online, just scoping it out to see what I would get. The hotel, someone asked if it's nice, and it's nice, but in like a 50s drive-in motel way. It's not like a Hyatt. It's cute. And so I had looked online at the place, and you see the lobby. And then when I walked in last night, I had the worst deja vu, because I had had a dream that I was rescuing my grandmother from her nursing home from zombies. And the nursing home looked like the lobby of the Lancaster Motor Inn. I told the check-in person at the hotel that, and she didn't like that I called it a nursing home, but she goes, I understand. I go, I'm sorry.
We get this all the time.
And so she goes, so what are you here for? I said, I'm going to Porcfest. And she goes, okay, I've lived here my entire life. I've heard of this, but I don't know what it is. What is it? And I said, it's a gathering of libertarians and anarchists. It's a political thing. Everybody gets together and has a good time. She goes, oh, I thought that was a pot thing. And I go, that too.
Pretty much.
Right.
Among other things.
But I don't know about, Roger's been here a bunch, but Mark, Johnny, I've been having a great time since I've been here.
Well, I'm so glad.
And Chris, you don't do anything.
I'm not boring, but I am boring, yeah.
Like no alcohol, no weed,
Johnny,
no LSD.
This is driving Johnny nuts. Johnny,
I am seriously, dude. We got to get you to drink.
We have been trying all night last night.
Talk about this in further depth now. It was floated last night that Chris is considering perhaps consuming some marijuana this weekend.
Yeah.
How are we feeling about that? No.
No,
that's
no.
not,
So,
no.
so I
You can
have
do the one-person marijuana challenge.
You don't want to see Chris Spangle drunk.
no. I would be crying and angry and laughing all at once. It would be the most. It
In
would
fact,
be insane.
you could do it now.
No. So here's the thing. I have a personal prohibition against alcohol. I don't care if you guys drink. Obviously, we're friends. You can do what you want. But I just don't, for lineage of long line of alcoholics in my family. I have an addictive personality. I bought some a family-sized peanut M&M thing at the gas station last night. I decided I had one, it tasted good, and then I put all of them in my mouth at once. And that's how I approach life. And I know that if I drank, I would have a problem. Now, when it comes to pot, I don't have that same aversion because I think you can control it a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty much non-addictive.
Yeah,
some
and
people can control it.
As an
Clearly,
unnamed
Howie
audience
cannot.
member literally chokes on marijuana.
One of the Lions of Liberty cast members literally just as we said that
we
started
will
going,
leave his name unsaid.
but I floated the
That was the most
idea
Howie thing ever.
of doing marijuana
You've got to do the marijuana
at
this weekend.
Porcfest.
You have to.
because I think that'd be a funny story.
It would be an incredible story. And if you do that, I don't care where I am, make sure that I'm notified. 'Cause
It
I
could
am
be
not
a funny
missing
story,
this.
Chris.
It could be on
It could
live
be a
on the
funny
air.
story.
Now, here's what I have decided.
Atlas to the front office. Atlas to the front office.
Atlas is my radio handle while I'm here this week.
You cannot
So-
shrug this Atlas.
I have so many people who want to see me get drunk or high that I think that if I held a charity event and did a live show and got high during the live show, I could raise a lot of money for charity.
You could. That is the best thing to do. And actually, I'm going to have a charity in the opposite direction. Like, can Johnny not drink or smoke
for a month.
during a show? And then the same day, so he's getting fucked up and drunk, and I'm going to be sober and watch how this is going
Right,
to be
you
a
could-
shit show.
Just read me devotionals.
Human action in the corner for 12 hours.
So I'm not going to smoke weed this weekend, but because I want to, when I do it. I'm sorry, I know I'm a downer, but
No, you're an upper.
Listen, one of us had to be sober to host this. You three,
true.
you three are a mess. So
I'm on
Yeah, you're
duty.
good.
I
I
can't.
might need
drink.
you to host my show later, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, we have a rule. When you're on duty, you have to be sober.
Johnny walked
oh,
in
well.
like he was literally dead, and then he came in like a walker going,
And he's been that way ever since.
Right. Now, Johnny, I saved Johnny's life yesterday. I know.
Okay, you did.
I'm
You
a
did.
hero, okay?
You are a hero.
I need
and
you-
actually, you are actually a big hero because I was sitting around trying to find cigarettes somewhere, and I tapped out of resources. You get to that point where they're like, "Fuck you, dude, get away." The average person up here at Porcfest.
so many hand jobs you can give out.
No, there's only so many. I'm like, my hand was starting to hurt. I'm like, Mark, take over. He's like, sure.
Every minute
I'll do
Porcfest
better.
was spent. I mean,
Yeah, and so they Mark actually posted on my wall, which is a weird.
That was the best way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, and
A public Facebook post.
and so I was like, I didn't know if it was a joke or not.
No.
And then before I got here, it was literally Mark posted, "No, really, you need to help Johnny. He's a mess." And when I brought a drunk Johnny Adams some cigarettes for the first time in a half a day, I was molested. I mean, he went full Cosby on me.
I did.
Yeah, he was.
I put some dope in your drink, and the next thing you know, you're passed out. And I took advantage of you.
But to be clear, he has been molesting multiple men this week.
Oh,
so multiple.
Johnny is very touchy feely and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
And we love it. Yeah.
yeah, he loves to give hugs.
We all consent. I consent for the next 3 days.
Hugs, not drugs. Hugs, not drugs, guys.
Oh no, this is Porcfest. You can do both.
Hugs and drugs. Hugs and drugs.
As long as you get consent.
We're in the free state.
Mark, what's your impression of Roger in person? Because we know Johnny's touchy, but Roger cracks me up because like we're talking last night about sports, and Roger goes, "I don't like any sports. Well, I like boxing because it's violence with consent." And I was like, is there ever a moment where you don't talk about the non-aggression principle?
Not very often, actually. I mean, I'm raising kids, so that's
Right.
something I have to talk about.
He
a
did
lot.
say, you know why I love boxing? Because they consented to it. I'm like, all right.
I mean, if you want to beat the shit out of each other,
He's so fired up.
I mean, if two people want to beat the shit out of each other, that's great as long as they're okay with it. I don't have a problem with it. If there's blood on the floor, everything's great.
I think that, to your question, the interesting thing about meeting everybody in person is everyone actually is exactly how they are on the internet.
All right.
Literally.
Yeah.
We could have stayed home, guys.
So I'm an asshole. Gotcha.
Yeah, we're
I
all
got fucking flamingos out, and I have like a picture. There's a flamingo. If you walk from the Cabot Inn and you walk up to here, there's that flamingo on the side of the road. I actually took a picture of me fucking it.
Of course you did.
We should
right.
clarify, mock fucking it.
yes. Was
No,
there-
I bet his dick was out.
My girlfriend actually said, "Put your dick away. I'm taking a picture now."
let's give a round of applause for Johnny's girlfriend.
Yes.
Yes. This,
She is definitely
Why
the
this
better
Patreon
half.
only show?
so she's a saint. She's quite the saint. Yeah. This
I mean,
is
everybody has to be to put up with Johnny, right?
so those.
You know what she said to me? Okay, this is
shit.
hilarious.
She said a lot of things due this weekend.
Oh yeah, she did. She goes, take your fucking boots out of the house, right? Because my feet stink so bad. My boots are like literally outside. I have to go outside like an outhouse to put my boots on. She's like, no, they're not going to be in this room. So thanks Porcfest for that. Thank you.
That's a condition or something, isn't it? You need to see a doctor, maybe.
It's trench foot. You wouldn't know about it.
No, I
You can
have.
kill that with alcohol, but Chris wouldn't know about that either.
No, listen. I'm very fastidious. I got a hotel. I was like, you can camp, okay, but I don't want to pretend to be poor for a few days. I need a shower every day. I need to, So it's yeah.
It takes a lot of work to look like this.
It does. You know how handsome I am in real life? Tell him, Johnny.
You're really handsome.
He's a beautiful human being.
Thank you.
Inside, he's a beautiful human being.
So what have
If
been?
you guys expected Liberty Talk, we don't do that on this show.
No,
because
no.
when we do, Roger and Chris fight. So we just bullshit for about an hour every month.
Chris and I are on an embargo. We are not fighting during Porcfest.
Yeah.
That's it's just not happening.
No.
Temporary ceasefire.
Yes.
if you will.
Yeah.
One thing that I do want to do, so please feel free to come up and ask a question. I want to do an Ask Me Anything. I heard Sovereign Tech do this last night, and I thought it was kind of fun. So if there is anything, like an Ask Me Anything, it doesn't have to be political. It can be, like last night on Sovereign Tech, they asked, if you could time travel, where would you time travel to? Just funny questions that
Guam.
the four of us could answer.
It's
That'd be
out of
great.
And don't
Guam has been in a permanent time, fix forever.
and don't be afraid to get personal.
Yes. So, what have been your impressions? What have been your impressions of Porcfest, Mark and Johnny?
Oh,
I spent all of yesterday just walking around and drinking with Johnny. And that's how you meet people at Porcfest. You walk around with Johnny, and they all know him from the day before when he high-fived them all drunk. So everyone knows Johnny at Porcfest. So I
Johnny
recommend
is
this.
a fucking rock
That's
star.
really all I've done so far. And then Chris got here, and we hung out. I had a good time. We hung out at the fire,
Yeah.
the volcanic fire.
Yep. Flirted with the girl.
I got 4 hours of sleep. We traded flirting with the girl, Jess Mears. No, I mean, we did.
Now,
We're not going to tell stories about people that aren't here. That's not fair. Do that on
Roger.
your own show.
Roger, has Porcfest this year been everything you thought it would be?
Everything and more. This has been, we worked on, my wife and I worked on the team last year, but, really being involved in all the nuts and bolts this year has been an amazing process. And, we love this shit.
Yeah.
We love this shit. I mean, the first one we came to, we just enjoyed so much. So we're like, okay, let's help make this happen. And this is our, so the first time we came to Porcfest, when it was over, we get back home and my kids look at me, my oldest says, that was better than Disney World. And God damn it, I spent $7,000 on Disney World. I could have been bringing it to Porcfest all this time. Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
That
Because
ain't right, man. That ain't right.
Tell me about it.
No,
A
yeah.
grateful little.
Yeah, it's the happiest place on earth, and
Right.
yet this is actually the happiest place on
Well,
earth.
my kids get so much freedom at Porcfest because we're around people that we trust.
Right.
We know that they aren't going to go off grounds, so they have freedom. I
Yeah.
mean, real freedom here.
I split a Rice Krispie treat with one of your kids last night. He seemed fine.
Now that reminds me of a great story. So our first Porcfest, we were
Kidding, I ate it all myself.
he was like 3/4 through the way, and I'm like, "Are you gonna finish that?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, bro."
So 2 Porcfests ago, my kids were all around the fire. I mean, there's 1,000 people down there, and on the last night of the fire, it's everybody's having a great time. People are selling pot cookies and shit. My kid comes up to me with a baggie of cookies. Daddy, I bought some cookies, and then I knew that there had been folks selling pot cookies. I'm like, how much did you pay for those cookies? $1. Okay, we're good. We're good. But just
What is
just
that? What is that? The discounted rate for kids?
well, so anyway,
$5 it's got pot. If it's $1, it doesn't.
right. So
Okay.
just to be
That's how you know.
safe, we walked over to where they were selling the pot cookies, and there's the dude selling pot cookies with his little daughter sitting beside him selling regular cookies. I'm like, now that's entrepreneurship for you, right? Let's meet all the demands. I love it.
That's the perfect description, because at Porcfest, it's, if you're a kid, if you're running around here, I've seen kids in Superman costumes, and they're just having fun. It's the bounds of their imagination. They can concoct fun in whatever way they see fit. Versus Disneyland,
Don't say cock.
which is enforced fun. It's all centrally planned. It's fun, but it's not as fun.
Right.
That's
Well,
what
and this
this
is
is
a
all
safe
about.
environment for them to do those kind of things,
Right.
and they know that. I mean, they get that sense immediately because this is so different for kids than anything they've really ever experienced
Yeah.
before. That freedom, that liberty, and if they have cool parents and they've got real freedom, so this is great for kids. And that's the thing is we try to put this on for everybody from 6 to drunk and passing out. So
Drunk and feeling 75.
Yeah, so
So you guys look at me. Why is that?
right. But I mean, we've got something for everybody here, and that's what it's all about.
Now,
Well, Chris, I didn't tell you what I thought about it. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
think
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I needed a vacation.
Yeah.
And this is the best vacation spot ever. It beats Disneyland too.
it's
I would
amazing.
recommend.
It's
Yeah.
so beautiful.
It's nice, but here's the thing. I think it's also the great people that are here. Like you get to meet some people that you would never. The bartender's fucking cool. He gives me free shots, and they're all free. But
Now that's VIP access only, just to be clear.
Yeah. Thank you. Do that next time if you did not. I recommend
It is worth every
It is
penny.
worth every flipping penny. I almost didn't swear there. All right, fucking penny. But I want to say that this place is really great, and I really enjoy just meeting other libertarians. Some of them smell bad, but that's cool.
All right. Yeah. No.
Some of them do. Come on now. We all know that guy. We're not going to say who it is.
This is a natural environment.
It's a natural environment.
And that's the thing about being in New Hampshire.
There's more bush here than Kennebunkport.
It's like if you come here, it's like watching a 70s porn.
Well, the great thing about being in New Hampshire is when I was in Arkansas, there's only so many libertarians in these states. So if you're going to hang out with libertarians, you don't have much to choose from. So sometimes you have to hang out with people that you normally wouldn't hang out with if you want to talk libertarianism.
Yeah.
But here in New Hampshire, there's 5,000 of us. And we can pick and choose, and I can pick and choose who I want to hang out with and who I want to spend time with and who I want to call family.
Yeah, you don't have to talk to every libertarian you see here. It's great.
Right. So
No, I
find me
will-
another state that has that.
And I will be candid. I mean, having worked at the Libertarian Party, I didn't have a very good run with anarcho-capitalists over the last 10 years that I've been a libertarian online. And so I've never wanted to come to Porcfest because I'm just like, I don't think I'd get along with anybody there. Because the way that people interact with each other online, I think, is not how people are in real life. And
Except for us.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing that's one thing you got to realize is that regardless of your ideology, I'm not picking on anarchists or libertarians. It's conservatives. It's Democrats. Lord knows the conservatives right now are being heartless dicks on Facebook.
Watch where you're going with this, Chris.
But I'm saying you have to act online the same way that you act in real life, and that usually is with empathy and friendliness. And coming to a place like this, it doesn't matter what your ideology is. You just see a person and you interact with that person, and that is a great part of this, is that you're interacting with people that you might not choose to interact with online. And so I think that's a great feature of this.
Well, one funny thing that happened last night, which happens a lot in real life, is when you're just out talking to people and you hear someone say something like "end the Fed." In the real world, you hear someone, you perk up like a puppy.
Right.
I did that here, and I was like, "Oh wait, I don't need to do that." Everyone around me is going to be saying stuff like
Right.
that.
Things like taxation is theft.
Like, who said that?
Yeah.
Oh, everyone said that.
Fuck you, Roger. The other thing is this place it has a magical quality. Mark and I saw Gravity Defied yesterday.
What'd you guys do?
So there was this guy on a skateboard that didn't look like it had an
I don't know
electric
what that
motor.
was.
It must have been 200 pounds in the skateboard.
He was going uphill with a kid on his back.
And gravity was defied. I don't know what drugs he mixed to make that happen, but
What drugs did he give me that I saw that?
But I saw Gravity Defied at Porcfest, and I looked at Mark and I go, Porcfest is even better than Roger said it was. We're defying the laws of physics.
You just can't put it into words. You really can't put
no.
Porcfest into words.
No, it's been a lot of fun. Go ahead. You guys talk now.
Johnny fucking Adams.
Hey, how you doing? Okay, so I just want to say I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy. And that was from Tom Waits.
What? Tell us the change in your show. What's going on with
Nothing. There's no damn change except for the
that?
name.
No. It seems totally different. What happened?
It does?
No, I'm just kidding you.
No, he's
I'm
like, I
teasing
never
you.
heard it. We haven't even released the fucking show. There's Odermatt.
Oh shit.
Rolling in. That's JB.
Nice.
Rock and roll, guys. Don't leave without saying hello. Front row seats right next to
Come on up
Howie.
to the front,
Howie's up
guys.
here in front. Rock and roll.
John Odermatt is tall. Yeah.
Have you not ever seen
right.
pictures of this tall dude?
No, I
Do
never-
you play basketball, John? John does play
He's-
basketball.
He's
yeah.
the center.
So wasn't there supposed to be a game with Eric July until somebody, pussied out?
He's wearing his
Wow.
he's wearing his kicks. He's
Yeah.
ready.
Tyler
he's-
over
he's-
here,
he's
he's one of
ankle
our
brace.
$25 supporters on Patreon, has offered to be the third man on the team. So this could still happen.
Nice.
We're willing to accept a replacement.
All right. I would love to see that. So we also
I will not
challenged.
play basketball ever. I just
There's
want that
also going to be
clear.
a hill run with Eric July. I think tomorrow at 3.
I just did one hill walk.
What
and
is
I'm
it?
still breathing heavy, so I don't think I'm going to participate.
Is Eric
but I
July
think other people should.
athletic or
He is very athletic. He was
Yeah,
a
he, like,
track
runs
star
track,
at
doesn't
my
drink.
wife's
He's gonna be good.
college.
One at a time. Say that again.
He was a track star at my wife's college, University of Memphis. But the hill run, you got this huge hill
Yeah.
in front of the pavilion, and they're going to be a hill run tomorrow. I think 3:00. So don't miss that.
I'll go up the first time.
You'll die
Then
the
I'll
first
stay up here.
time.
You walk up. Shut up, Mark. You've walked up the gentle hills, and you're breathing harder than me and Johnny, who chain
That's
smokes.
why I'm not doing the 10 hill run.
You're supposed to be the fit one, and
Yeah,
like,
he looks fit, but actually, I ran 2 miles about 2 months ago. No, I did.
Yeah.
17 minutes, 2 miles.
Look at
Not
you.
Bad for a white guy. I feel pretty
well,
good.
that's kind of why I thought you guys were singling Eric July out. I was like, what is
My question is, what were you running from?
right? The cops.
the cops.
Now,
I just got to pause and say there's literature up here promoting actual piracy, and this is why Porcfest is awesome.
a coloring book.
Letters of Mark, there's a comic book, and I think it's a real thing. So
It is a real thing, yeah. Or it's Ernie Hancock.
They're actual pirates, and I love it.
Yeah, Ernie
Love
Hancock
Porcfest.
does that stuff. Arr.
Let's get some audience participation. Let's
do that.
Everybody, I know you're all shy because you're all introverted libertarians.
You guys all leaving?
Joe, we're gonna
all
pick
the
a-
Lions of Liberty are leaving the room. By the way,
Except for Mark.
I got a lot of support here. This is great.
Come on up.
Oh, Nick.
Here, set the template. Ask a question. Tell us what you want to say.
Feel free to get real and personal.
My name's Nick. Roger, would you shake Bill Weld's hand?
Ooh, so Nick and I are great friends. Nick was one of the first friends we met. We
Nick
made
was
when
the
we
first
got up
person to
here.
recognize me at Porcfest yesterday.
Ah,
I heard
nice.
someone yelling my name. I'm like,
Nice.
someone just recognized
So
me? This is weird.
because Nick knows me so well, he knows that I would probably turn my back on Bill Weld unless Bill Weld offered me his hand first, and then out of courtesy, I would shake his hand and then tell him what a douchebag he is.
Now, Roger, remember when we were just saying that I came to Porcfest to meet people that I don't necessarily always agree with?
Yes.
And now that's a good thing.
Is Bill Weld here?
Why are you not giving the same respect to Bill Weld?
no,
Mr. Weld, if you wouldn't mind coming up from the back. You guys can't see it now, but he's actually here.
Where's the booze? Where's the booze?
Look, I respect
face on the
people.
freezer, Bill.
I don't respect people just based on being people. I respect people who deserve respect. And I think that anybody who's going to come into a party and try to, be the standard bearer for the party when he had barely read he just read the platform 2 weeks before. He had no clue what he was doing. He's clearly not a libertarian.
Well, he was the original, though.
Oh,
so
kiss
The
my
OG.
ass.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, that to me, that's not somebody that I want to respect. I'm sorry, because I think that is a terrible thing to do. Oh, and there's my lovely wife
Yay.
bringing us all water. So let me just tell you.
thank you so much.
Let me just tell you all,
wife is
Porcfest would
keeping
not have
me
happened
alive,
this year
literally.
without this
Thank
lovely
you so
woman.
much, Jessica.
So this woman did 90% of all the organization for this. So thank you, baby. I love you. She rocked it this year, guys. She rocked it.
You know what, Roger? You
All right,
have the
beat
most. She is you have
Get outta
a
here.
very beautiful wife. by
Thank
the way.
you. Thank
Yes.
you. I
Dude,
appreciate
she
that.
is just a doll.
Do you
You
want to
know
say,
what?
Jessica? Do you want to say something on the air?
Yeah,
we'd
Jessica,
love to-
come ask us a question.
Come sit in the chair of doom.
Oh, come on. The chair
Ask
of
us a question.
the chair of doom, because we are the League of Liberty.
Come sit in the chair of doom, right next to me.
Oh, shit. Where is everybody?
That's okay. That's all right. Well,
would
just a
never
couple
happen
minutes.
twice.
Now, Jessica, do you have a therapist?
No.
All right.
Do you have to say taxation is theft
I'm
before
starting-
you guys go to bed every night?
I'm
Oh,
starting.
do you guys
That's the only way she
actually?
can get me hot. No, I'm kidding.
Do you guys in New Hampshire actually have a therapist?
is, pra-
Like, is that an available skill, or is there like?
is praxeology your safe word?
Taxation is theft.
Now, what's it like living with Roger Paxton?
Wait, remember you have to go to bed
What
a
day of the week
minute.
are we talking about? Like what time?
Wednesday at
specific,
noon.
Like, what is it like living with Roger Paxton? Like on June 3rd at 2:42 p.m. Because that may be different than at. No, it's awesome.
Of course it is.
He's amazing.
She's got to go to bed with me tonight, so she knows how to answer these questions.
He pays the bills, right?
I used to pay the bills anyway.
How many times a day does Roger say voluntary?
It depends on the day, Chris. If it's a day he's recording, probably 473.
Or if it's
If not, it's about 432.
right.
So
Depends on the day. If I have to teach my kids something, then I use it quite a bit. Yeah.
When you got married, did you make the preacher say, "Do you consent"?
when we got married,
Yes, this is interesting.
I still considered myself a Democrat, and he still considered himself a Republican.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was on the
Interesting times
verge.
indeed.
I was also a just not far off of being a Pentecostal preacher, and so a lot changed in those few years that we
We
were.
have, it's kind of been good that we've gone on this journey together. Otherwise, we
could have gone sideways real quick.
Yeah, our kids are probably happy about that. So.
Well, we had to meet somewhere, so we kind of tried to meet in the middle. But,
Well, we did. We sort of pointed out the inconsistencies
Yeah.
in each other's arguments, and then one day we were like,
We're both idiots.
"We're both, yeah, exactly. We're both idiots. We
Pretty
were
much,
both
yeah.
idiots." So it just sort of happened that we hopped on the train together and sort of figured it out.
And it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah, really.
And now we have Porcfest. So.
I know
What
it's so
a
much
great-
fun.
And you guys are like the president and the first lady of Porcfest, honestly. Give it up for Roger Paxton.
Well, Jess, thank you for joining us. To the Michelle Obama of Porcfest, everyone give her a round of applause.
Oh, thank you.
Our cookbook will be available.
Do your wave. Do
Do
your
you-
wave.
It's more effective when I'm on the golf cart and I drive by and do the wave.
And you're surrounded by Secret Service.
Who do I got to get a hand job to get a golf cart for about an hour?
You aren't getting a golf cart.
You have
this
to
week.
be a coordinator who puts in about 500 hours of volunteer work
Right.
to.
Chris,
Are you just
good
a...
exercise, man.
I self-identify as someone who organized Porcfest. Give me a cart or you're literally Hitler.
No.
Oh, damn it. See, I'll listen to her. She's,
loves you,
all
she
right,
doesn't
everybody.
love you.
Jess Paxton. Woo! All right, somebody else from the crowd, come sit in the chair of doom.
All right,
What's
someone who's not sleeping with one of us now.
Another good friend of mine from the Free Coast part of New Hampshire, Brent Tweed.
Yep. All right.
Other than Roger, are any of you considering moving to New Hampshire?
I'll be the first to answer a definitive no. I'll be honest. I love it here for 3 days or 4 days. I went fly fishing for a few days before I came here. That was boring as fuck. But I love my dad, so I did it for him. Honestly, I love where I live, and I really feel that being happy should be the priority in life. And if you're forcing yourself to live somewhere you really don't want to for political reasons, then you're actually maybe fighting your own freedom in a bit by trying to put yourself into a box that you don't really feel comfortable in. I love being here. I love hanging out with you guys. I know that in the winter months, I would be miserable as all hell.
Yeah.
Something I've learned about it myself is 70 and sunny is what makes me happy. So that's where I live, where it's 70 and sunny. I literally get miserable during dark, cold, dreary months. I don't want to feel miserable.
Yeah,
So,
and absolutely. I mean, New Hampshire is not for everybody. Then that's absolutely the
There's a
case.
snowmobile museum half a mile from here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not living where there's a snowmobile museum.
It's really not that bad. I mean, look, I moved here from Arkansas. Never saw, barely any snow in my entire life.
Right.
The first one was
Or
pretty
education.
rough. Yeah, pretty much. The first year was pretty rough because it was brand new. I didn't know how to deal with it and everything. But by the second year, I'm an old hat, and really. In the summer, we hibernated. I mean, in the South, we hibernated in the summer. Here, we hibernate in the winter. It's no different.
Yeah, go ahead, Johnny. You go next.
Well, I was just saying that, like, it's kind of like Vegas. You don't want to live here. You just want to visit. And I respect Vegas, trust me, because that is my fucking town. Just for like 3 or 4 days.
I was so bored.
Right? And that's about it, right? Can you guys agree with me?
3 days in Vegas with Johnny sounds like the weekend of my life.
It's going to be like the fucking movie, The Hangover. And that is with me. If you guys want to go to Vegas with me, I will start a fucking campaign to do it. But what I'm saying is, I love it, but I also think that there's a lot of other people in other states that need to hear the message of liberty. And I think that if I leave that state, then I'll be doing an injustice. Because there's a lot of good people over in my state, which I think I can make a difference and we could change the culture. And so, yeah, I think New Hampshire's a great, and if you want to be part of the Free State Project, I support that 100%. But I also want to say that we have a lot of battles that we got to fight everywhere else. So I think we still need to keep some hardcore libertarians, people who are principled in other states, so we can win this. We can win the war, not the battle. Rock and roll. Thank you.
So I've been having an internal battle with myself because I do like Indianapolis, where I live. It's a great city.
sad.
It's
I'm kidding. I have been. It is a good city.
it is. It's bland and let's say homogenous.
Very much so.
There's you visit towns
this
like
just became an alt-right leadership panel.
Right.
What just happened? How we say homogenous in the movement.
right. Johnny just spit out his water.
For those not here, Johnny just spit his water out.
So I love my hometown, and all my friends and family are there, and that's really why I wouldn't move. But and my nieces are 2 and 4, and that's like the cute age. And when like 10 years when they're 12 and 14, then we'll take a look at moving. But so I do have these internal battles where I'd like to live somewhere else, and so every time I take one of these trips, I always am like, could I live here? And I found
Spend a week with each League of Liberty member,
Right.
and then you can choose a city.
I as I'm sitting on the courthouse steps or the state house steps, eating a cheeseburger in Concord yesterday, not Concord, Concord.
You ate it on the courthouse steps.
It was a stone's throw.
He is a statist.
The visual is
It was an exaggeration. Let's not get the facts. Let's not get the facts get in the way of a good story. And so I'm in this town that is beautiful and perfect, and I'm like, I could totally live here. And this is a beautiful state, and everybody's been super nice. And I love Boston. I've thought about Boston too.
Boston is awesome.
Yeah,
it
like-
really is. There's a lot of great stuff.
So when my sister and the nieces lived there, I visited Boston a bunch. But then I'm also like, the reason in February of every year, I sit there and go, I want to live where there's sun, because I'm like Mark. I get super depressed in the winter, and it's because of the vitamin D. And Johnny, you gonna do the layup here? I need D.
So by the way, Chris, you
Yeah.
don't look like you go tanning very much.
I know.
But they do have vitamin D pills.
Yeah,
They
no,
do.
I take it. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I do, but
We're so mature, we can't say the letter D without half of us giggling
I know.
to each other and poking each other under the table.
and so
Chris loves the vitamin D. Yes.
and so. Would I move to New Hampshire? 100% yes. Absolutely. Am I going to? It is unlikely because I'd rather live somewhere where there's sun, like maybe a Tucson or an Austin, Texas, or St. Augustine, Florida. Am I going to
Very
move?
specific.
Probably not. St.
More
Augustine.
specifically, St. Augustine, Florida.
If you've ever been, you know why. Dude, it's the oldest city in America. My parents had a condo there growing up. And so I, at 5 years old, was giving on these VHS tapes that my parents have tours of St. Augustine because it's the oldest continuous city in America. And it's just history for days. So, like, if you love history, you would love St. Augustine. Like, go spend a week there. You still won't see everything. It's kind of like Boston. When you walk around Boston, it's like, oh, there's a plaque that says this is where the telephone was invented. Oh, this is where Ben Franklin took a dump in 1860, whatever. Like, St. Augustine's that same way, where it is, here's the oldest schoolhouse, here's a fort,
I want to know how Ben Franklin took a dump in 1861. I don't think that was going to happen.
He wasn't alive then.
Right.
Don't you...
Ben Franklin ate a cheeseburger on these courthouse steps.
Ben Franklin was a magnificent human being who lived a long life. He
Made myself snort.
he was best friends with Abraham Lincoln. So yes, that is the answer to your question.
So are any of you going to support Bill Weld in 2020?
As he walks off.
Fuck that
With
guy
a
in the neck.
controversial question.
I want to know, Roger.
I will support. I want Bill Weld to run because I want to watch the theatrics
Dude,
unfold.
I get so much content
I
from that
want-
shit.
yes.
I want him to run because
We
I
will
will
bring
have
back-
content for months.
It will give us so much podcast material. I want to see him and Adam Kokech going at it. I want him to run purely for dramatic purposes.
Okay. Johnny wants to take a break.
signaling.
He needs a cigarette.
There's no breaks, folks. No, Johnny. I mean, no. Who am I?
What do you do when we record an hour-long podcast?
He just smokes.
He smokes in his house, right?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. We can take it. Let me answer the Bill Weld question.
Well, you can just go, you can just go smoke while we talk about Bill
I
Weld.
think he might have been facetious. Just saying. I don't know.
I'll give a serious question.
Okay, a good serious answer.
Probably not. And he when I saw him speak,
Johnny's going to smoke in the bathroom. This is amazing.
Honestly, Johnny, just go,
Rock and roll.
just go stand outside that window and we'll take a mic over there. Weld has made progress in the last 2 years. He spoke at the Indiana convention, but he still doesn't understand the basics of the philosophy in a lot of ways. And he gave a boring ass speech about policy. And then he gave the old tripe of I'll bring billionaires, I'll bring money, I'll bring this.
That's what he said last time.
It's what we've heard every single time with every one of these guys. And so
Exactly.
like to my pragmatist friends that, I cater to more than obviously Roger does. Like
More than.
Obviously.
I just like he's uninspiring
0% Roger does.
in every way. And I am probably the only podcaster in the movement that would give him a chance. And I was like, hey, can I get an interview? He looked at me and said, I don't think I want to do that right now. It's like, all right, dude.
And then he goes and gets interviewed by Adam Kokesh 10 minutes later. Like, you don't know anybody, do you?
Like,
you have no idea who's who.
I'm the one
This
that
guy will
will
probably
give
be
you.
safe.
I'm the one that will give you airtime, and you still don't get it. Like he's
I'd
just,
give him airtime.
and he's gonna use.
Tons.
I think he's gonna use real
Give him a rope
run.
to hang himself on.
So we need a petition to get Bill Weld on Lions of Liberty.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, but he did give me his.
I like how
pers-
you took it right away from Chris. You're like, he's like, I'd give him airtime. No.
I don't listen to We Are Libertarians anymore, so I can't hear
Roger
it.
wants to hear it, so.
That's how dare you, sir.
I do not fucking with you. You know
And
that.
I'm going to have Roger as my co-host that episode, too.
I also want to know how one fucks one in the neck.
Through the mouth.
Well, let's say. Let's say one is
Johnny
average.
liked it. He's halfway outside smoking. Love that joke. Got a thumbs up.
Let's say one is average. How would I then do it? I mean, how would one do it?
How would one do what?
How would
Do we
one
really
fuck?
need a
would it, like,
visual?
are you cutting someone in the neck
Here, let
and
me
then
show you.
fucking that hole, or okay,
Right. You go
Oh,
through the
And then
all the way
it's
down?
in the neck now.
Okay.
I didn't
That's
think
why you
it
got to come to
took-
Porcfest.
It's not
to
rocket
see what we're
science,
doing
Chris.
here.
Some of us didn't get the sex education.
showed Chris how
that we got
blowjobs
in
work
Arkansas.
live, all right?
Yeah, that's true.
This just happened.
The-
Johnny just made a weird signal over
Johnny,
there.
Johnny's making the break signal. All right,
Okay.
let's take a break. We're going to talk to the crowd off air. We're going to smack them around verbally, not physically, Roger.
Unless there's consent involved.
All right, and see if we can't get more a conversation from the audience. So for that, this is the League of Liberty with Chris Spangle, Roger Paxton, Mark Claire, and Johnny Adams. All right, we are back. Yeah. The funny thing is, Johnny requested a break to smoke, and the second he requested the break, he finished smoking and walked back into the table.
I wanted another one, dude.
But I've had
Smokers just don't smoke one.
In that
Right.
in that 10-minute break, he had like 4 cigarettes.
Am I going to have to go get you more cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I can do that.
That is why you're here, sir. You're the DD.
You give me a 20,
Right.
I'll bring you back 2 packs.
That's why it's always great to hang out with a square.
Yeah, I can drive. I can go
Chris
get.
Spangle's favorite band is Huey Lewis because it's hip to be square.
No. It's Coldplay. I'm just kidding.
I was like, I was about to move seats. God damn it!
That's like this.
You can say taxation isn't theft, but don't say you love Coldplay around Roger. That's when he'll get really pissed off.
No, that's like if you're. That's the beta band. If you're beta, then you like Coldplay, right? That's the joke.
If you say so.
All right. I enjoy Coldplay though, but I'm not. I promise, I'm not beta,
Johnny's got
guys. Stop
waitress
it.
Service here. Whoa, how'd you get a hookup?
Because I'm cool. I'm seriously, I'm pretty much the James Bond of libertarians.
He is fucking rock and roll.
Hey, Mark, can you tell your co-hosts to shut the fuck up?
While we're recording, rude motherfuckers. I'm gonna come up here while you guys are recording and talk my ass
You
off.
guys are violating the
on
NAP
in.
right now as I speak. I know it's Howie. I just have to. I have to. No,
you weren't.
You
Your
think you were
whisper
whispering. You
is everyone
think you were-
else's scream.
Yes.
You can just come up and sit and be on a mic too if you
Yeah.
want. Whatever.
Yeah.
No,
We'll do that
that's all
later.
right.
You guys should just.
Let's get some questions.
Hard pass. So I am Chris.
Spangle has rejected this idea.
I am Chris Spangle of We Are Libertarians. This is Roger Paxton of Lava Flow. That is Mark Claire of Lions of Liberty.
Roar.
And Johnny Adams of Blast Off with Johnny Rocket.
By the way, I'm Johnny Goddamn Rocket.
Johnny Rocket. I'm sorry. Okay.
Well, the
No.
the Lions of
He's
Liberty
Roger
guys.
fucking Paxton.
I was about to say that's what the Lions of Liberty guys call me, Roger. I don't know where that came from, but I'll take it.
I call you
It sounds cool.
the
With your name.
The We Are Libertarians guys call you fucking Roger Paxton. So we just flipped the words.
Well played. Well played.
So we have an audience, and there's no sense in talking about us because we can do that anytime. I want to talk to the audience. So who's got questions? Who wants to come on up?
Have some things to
Come
say.
on up. When you come up, just introduce yourself, where you're from. They don't have to be questions about politics or policy. They can be, Roger, what's your shoe size or something like that, in case you want to see if he has small feet and hands.
Cetus Bailey. I'm from Charleston, West Virginia, so I had a pretty long drive up. I listen to Roger quite regularly, so I don't I don't know a lot about you guys. I'm just interested to know where did you get the fire of liberty?
Nice. Good question.
What's your origin story,
Good
Johnny
question.
Adams?
Well, I'll tell you what. I was in the People's Republic of Seattle. Oh my God! Right, and it's like red. It bleeds red everywhere, And I was interested in the ideas of liberty, and I found this guy called Ron Paul, and Ron Paul, right? Give it up. I found this
You
guy
mean
called
the
Ron Paul and these two fucking magicians.
the status that was in Congress, Roger?
Okay, you know what?
Dr. No?
Right.
Yeah, he's a statist. That's
just-
fine. That's fine.
I just think it's funny when people like Roger, I love Ron
Look,
Paul.
Ron Paul got me started in liberty, too. He
Right.
was one of many that got me on that journey. Now, was he perfect? Of course not. No libertarian's perfect except for me.
But you won't fuck him in the neck? Sorry, I was just teasing Roger. Go ahead.
No, but like these two magicians who did a show called Bullshit inspired me.
Yes.
Penn and Teller. And they broke the fallacies of how things were run. And I'm like, what is this show? And it was libertarian as fuck. And I started watching that show religiously. I started reading about libertarianism. I said, how can I make a difference? And I said, I have a buddy. I was in audio for 10 years, and I was in a band for 10 years. And I don't know if you guys like rock and roll. Say yes. So Chris listens to Coldplay. It's not rock and roll. But, I did rock and roll, and I played rockabilly music for years. And you know what? I figured I could take my knowledge of audio and bring it together with the libertarian message. And I'm hoping to change one person at a time. And you know what? The thing is, my passion is to change the common guy down the street. Because Joe Bob, the bartender, or the blue-collar mechanic, they don't know shit about libertarianism, their status. And we need a guy like me who can relate to them and make them laugh and have fun and drink a beer and talk about liberty, right? So that's what inspired my passion, and this is why I do what I do, is I want to change one heart, one mind at a time, rock and roll, and one beer at a time.
And just before we get to Mark, you mentioned Penn and Teller. Penn's co-host on Penn Sunday School is here at Porcfest, Matt Donnelly. He's doing a magic show at 5:30, magic and comedy, hillbilly something or other. It's a fucking riot. I've seen it on YouTube. So be done there at 5:30. All of our listening audience.
I'm just thinking about how close and inside of Johnny's mouth this microphone just was, and now it's similarly towards mine. But, it's no big deal. We're very uncouth. I apologize. I actually got my start with Liberty with this gentleman in the corner here, Howie Snowden, a friend of mine who Chris Spangle is feuding with, I believe, over something that happened in a group somewhere.
Chris always feuds with libertarians. Imagine that.
That's what we do.
I'm generally disagreeable.
Used to, yeah. When I was in college, when we were all in college, these gentlemen all went to college with me, and at Penn State University. And we would drink into the wee hours of the night, so a lot has changed, as you can see. And this is the wee hours of the night for me. I've been up a while. And he used to talk about this guy, Ron Paul, because when he was... Howie, do you want to come tell part of the story, since you're here? You were a congressional page at one point, right? Careful.
Ron Paul converted me, but one of the books that really converted me was Harry Brown's How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World.
That's true.
And I bought my second old copy because Mark gave me
Howie's so drunk already.
Odie, and it got lost. We got a copy here. We're all going to sign it, and we're going to give it away
We do?
tomorrow. Yes, we're going to sign it. We're going to give it away tomorrow at our Lions Liberty Live podcast.
That's not tomorrow. That's in like 4 hours.
Harry Brown, he's not with us anymore, but he was an amazing libertarian. Him and Ron Paul, amazing effect on us.
So this is how I got started. Him drunkenly ranting like this is you just saw it live. That's why I brought it up. But when he was a congressional page, he met Ron Paul a few times, and he used to tell me about this one congressman he used to meet who talked differently than the other ones, and yada, yada, yada. So I ended up looking up this guy's column called Texas Straight Talk, Ron Paul. It's his column. He's ran for 20 years or so. And what struck me differently about him was that he was a Republican, But most of the time he spent criticizing Republicans, criticizing foreign policy, criticizing the war on drugs, and that just kind of blew my mind open because that just was not how politics worked before. It was Republicans criticize Democrats, Democrats criticize Republicans, and that's what at least started getting me sort of thinking in a different way and realizing you don't have to think along those lines. And then 9/11 happened, and then I really started thinking about foreign policy more, and I started to dig deeper on that when I saw our response was to invade this country, Afghanistan, that I had barely heard of. And it started me down a journey of learning a lot more about what our foreign policy really was, how it might affect things, how blowback might actually be a thing. And then 7 or 8 years later, after I already had followed Ron Paul for this whole time, he ran for president, and I went, well, that's weird. I wonder where this is going to go. So I tuned into presidential debates for the first time maybe in my life, and the rest is kind of history, I guess. A lot of us saw that go down. And he basically blew holes through people's reality, through people's perceptions of what is allowable in political debate, to say things on a Republican stage like, of course I want to legalize heroin. Are you guys all going to run out and do heroin if we legalize it tomorrow? Oh, we are. This is the wrong audience. Okay, this crowd is half of you guys are on heroin right now.
Howie has just informed us that heroin's not that bad.
It's all about...
Alcohol or cigarettes?
I'm so excited for our podcast later. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, but that's what guided me down the path, and that's what I think seeing his boldness on a Republican stage, saying things you're not supposed to say. I told myself, well, because before libertarianism was a thing I kept to myself. I was the only libertarian I knew. And that's what inspired me and I still am. And that's what inspired me to sort of go down that path of being vocal about my beliefs just in my real life, years before I even started the podcast. Eventually, I turned that into the podcast, though. That was kind of my inspiration, though. I wanted to talk to more people about the ideas of liberty and then put that conversation out there and not be shy about my beliefs anymore and be bold and talk about shit you're not supposed to talk about.
I think the peeling away of societal shame of saying things that are unpopular, I think that's the key. And that's been a huge part of it for me too, is saying things that are unpopular. And that, to me, is the bigger struggle for most libertarians than as much as, even trying to keep up and learn all the ideology. It's I'm going to say this thing that's unpopular. It might put me in a wilderness, and am I ready for that? And I think for the four of us, we do it pretty prominently, and it's not that bad. You get to come to Porcfest when you do that.
One thing you learn when you actually speak boldly all the time, and it takes a while to figure this out, people do actually start to respect you, even if they disagree with you. Because all the people that reach out to me that I didn't even know followed what I did or followed anything I said, and they'll say, hey, just so you know, I do actually follow a lot of what you say, and you've actually made me think about things differently. And they're not the ones commenting on Facebook. They're only the ones you hear about offline sometimes.
And it's
the casual lurker on Facebook.
Right.
The high school friends, too. The people that, the high school friends on your Facebook who go, hey, I never saw that point of view.
I didn't have friends in high school.
Well, one could debate if you have them now, but...
I've got 5,000 of them in New Hampshire.
No, I want to say that you guys are right. I mean, it's about making a statement, and you can be bold about it and be an asshole. And I think that's how we get our point across. I know that we love Arvin Vohra, one of the most principled libertarians.
He was speaking at 10 o'clock this morning at the main pavilion.
But he is. But hear me. I know how he loves that fucking guy. But what I want to say is I respect his principles. I just don't respect how he messaged that, his message, his methods. There's a method behind his madness, right? Is that how it works?
Or a madness behind his methods. I
don't know. But I'm just saying, though, we need principled libertarians. And I think that is what keeps this organization or our movement alive.
I think I agree with you on that one.
I think you do. But if we don't have principled libertarianism, and this is what we're trying to teach, is foundational principled libertarianism. If you want to take a step back and go, maybe that's too crazy for me right now, you can, and you're still cool. But as soon as you start wanting to, what the fuck, man?
Is he on shrooms? I don't know what the hell this dude is doing. Jesus.
I totally agree. We do need principled libertarians, but they need to think. They need to think before they speak and put something out for the fucking mass. I probably think Arvin's a great dude, but when you're putting something out as a spokesman, don't disenfranchise fucking everyone.
Dude, Howie just so you guys know, Howie apparently is having a really good time because he is slurring his words like a son of a bitch. That is awesome.
The amount of
and it's only what? Let's see what time it is. It's 12:30, and he's been slurring his words for like 2 hours.
It's joy.
We're recording a drinking podcast in 6.5 hours.
He's not going to make it.
Yeah,
Bruh.
This is gonna be fun.
Is he on your team? Is Howie on your team, Mark?
I want you to know you have to. It's
I will win.
He's gonna get his second win here in a little bit.
you don't win by starting before the contest begins.
Yeah.
Whiskey challenges,
Yeah.
not people that don't drink all day. People that drink all day win whiskey challenges.
That's right.
Dead air for our podcast. Nobody can hear you, Howie. You don't have a mic.
Roger,
His voice carried, man.
Okay.
It's cool. Fucking
Roger,
awesome.
Roger Paxton. What?
Drink all day win whiskey challenges.
People who drink all day win whiskey challenges, as per Howie Snowden.
Roger
Thank you, sir.
Paxton. What is your origin story?
None of these Lions of Liberty podcast is canceled.
So, she's already heard mine, but I'll do it for the rest of the audience. So, I started off as a neocon conservative, Pentecostal preacher and all this crazy shit. And, I was raised that way by my mother, and I thought that she was, that she knew everything. So, and then when I found out she didn't know everything, a lot changed. I actually first heard about Ron Paul in about 1996 or so, and I thought, yeah, he's got some great ideas. He's a little crazy on that war on drugs, and we got to have borders, right? I thought he was a little nuts, but I kept watching what he was doing, and because I like a contrarian, imagine that.
Yeah.
So,
you don't say.
Right. So it was fun to watch him over the years, and then I picked up Atlas Shrugged. I had never read it before, and a good friend of mine recommended it, and named my dog Dagny, and that's why Atlas is my radio handle. And that book not only changed the way I looked at politics and the way that things are done and the way that interactions between human beings are done. And it also changed the way I looked at religion quite a bit as well. So that started the rabbit hole. And within a year, I was a libertarian. And then I like to say that Murray Rothbard turned me into an anarchist. And here we are.
Yeah. So for my part, I grew up love politics, and I grew up in a very Republican household, and so obviously started Republican, and was pretty influenced by all the Clinton stuff, and I just thought Democrats were the worst thing ever. But I was really just anti-left, and I wasn't. And that's the thing about a lot of conservatives; they're anti-left, or a lot of leftists are anti-right. And you don't really know what you believe. And so I went on to become the president of the College Republicans. I was very impacted by 9/11 as well. Changed many of my fundamental worldviews in a lot of ways, or set off chains that eventually led to a total change in my thinking in terms of religion and politics. And went to work for the College Republicans. I was the chair for the local chapter in 2004 during that Bush election. I almost got impeached because I thought that Bush's immigration policy, opening up immigration, was a good thing, and I didn't care if gay people got married. And they were like, "We can't have you as chair. You like liberty too much." But I wasn't. I would say that I was libertarian leaning, but I didn't understand what libertarian meant. I had heard the word because of Neil Bortz, because I was a huge talk radio fan. And then I went on to volunteer. Instead of working for Mitch Daniels, I worked for a guy named Andy Horning, who ran for Congress. And Andy was a libertarian who had switched parties to run for the Republicans. And he really was the first person who kind of explained libertarianism to me. This is one of the reasons that I've always said, like, libertarian campaigns do a lot of good, because they impress libertarian values on their campaign volunteers, the people that they talk to. And went on to kind of starting to question a lot of stuff. Then I went to work at a local talk radio station, and I basically worked with this independent conservative named Abdul Hakim Shabazz. And every time I would say anything I had heard on Rush Limbaugh that day, he would completely dismiss it and tell me why I was an idiot and why I was wrong. And so by the end of that 4 years, I was just really like, I don't believe anything. I don't know what I believe. I don't have it. Like, you're just kind of left without a party. You're left without an ideology, and you're just kind of in that weird mix of, I have these things that I think I believe, but I don't really have any facts to support any of them. And then I was working as a reporter, and I started talking to some libertarians and started reading up on it. And the one hang-up I had was on foreign policy, because, again, the 9/11 thing. And seeing Ron Paul in the 2008 debates really made me go, oh, okay, I see what the libertarian point of view is on this in a clear way. and went to work for the Libertarian Party, and that's kind of all she wrote, because once you kind of get in on that train heading in that direction, you end up years later, a decade later, looking back at yourself, and I listen to some of those old shows that I was on WXNT and go, that person was an idiot. And part of the reason that I started the podcast was, A, I've always wanted to have my own talk show, but B, teaching libertarianism, teaching libertarian thought on modern current events really teaches you. Teaching is a great way to learn, because when you're learning what you're going to say, like, I feel a lot of pressure when I open the mic. Like, I feel a lot of pressure to say things that are truth, things that are.
The doctor says that to you too. You're going to feel a little bit of pressure.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of responsibility, and so I always try to show my work too. Because I could be wrong, Roger.
You could be, yeah.
Yeah.
But just to be clear, there's a reason why I started the Lava Flow podcast. In the last couple of minutes is why.
Oh, wow.
I don't understand.
Okay.
What was all the giggling about as I was trying to?
We were talking about the vape pen.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't figure out how to work the damn thing.
I was giggling at Johnny's giggling.
I couldn't figure out how to work the vape pen, so, whatever.
Vape pen hard.
This is what you're going to smoke.
Well, it's got holes on both ends. I've never seen one with holes on both ends.
Yeah.
So do we have any
I
more
thought you
questions?
had kids.
2.
All right, boys.
Okay, we got another question.
All right, come on up. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Joe Roberts from the seacoast of New Hampshire.
Yes. Joe Roberts. That's speaking. I live in the seacoast as well.
Yeah, it's a good area. Let's bring it back to Porcfest. What is your favorite thing so far at Porcfest, or what are you looking forward to? We know Johnny likes the open bar. Mark's loving the yoga.
I got an answer. Will Coley's Chicken Shawarma.
Yes.
I heard that was
Seriously,
amazing.
check the shit out. Cultural Appropriation Grill. I should get like a commission. Yeah, it's an awesome name. He makes amazing food.
My favorite thing
Will
so
Coley already opened it up, so license it from him.
my favorite thing
Wait,
so
we're
far has
libertarians.
been
We don't
making
believe
fun of Roger to his face.
Amen to that. Look, Chris and I have a lot of respect for each other, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no,
we have fun with it.
No, it's meeting these guys and talking to these guys have been
Well,
the
that's
best
the great
part,
thing is
but-
Chris and I have known each other longer than any of these other guys. We met was 2011.
Yeah.
And
Fucking chop liver.
right,
Thanks.
fuck these two.
My-
so Chris and I go way back.
My least favorite thing is Brett Bittner's here now.
Yes. Boo, Brett Bettner. So, what is the most thing the thing you're most looking forward to for Porcfest?
Seeing if
Getting
Howie
drunk.
Snowden
Chris
survives.
Bangel's gonna
I'm
get
sorry,
drunk.
I can't hear you over Johnny.
I know.
This weekend, I'm handing Chris Bangle a brownie, and it's going to be a brownie, he thinks, and it's going to be more than a
Well,
brownie.
you're not supposed to tell people when you violate their nap. You're just supposed to do it.
That's what's going to make it better.
Roger is not
I'm still
going
going to get
to.
away with
I
it.
thought the one violating their nap would be Chris this week, not you.
Yeah, how dare
He's
you?
just gonna wake up with like grass stains on his knees and shit.
So back to the question, since Johnny.
I'm trying to work that out in my head and how that. The thing I'm most looking forward to, literally, is will Howie Snowden survive? I'm not sure because he's pretty toasty
That's what
as
I'm
is.
looking forward to also.
No, I'm excited
He's
to
my
see.
roommate also, so I'm a little worried.
Yeah,
about
I'm excited
everything.
to see Brett and Morgan. They moved out to Boston, and I haven't seen them in a few months. I'm excited to meet Johnny and Mark and just spending more time with you guys, and then meeting new people like Joe, new podcaster. Have you started your podcast yet?
Not yet. Should be out by the end of the year. Making moves, getting things together.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, it's called Making Moves. .com.
Making moves, getting things together.com. Look it up, everybody.
So yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about people. I just enjoy meeting and hanging out.
Well, and Jess and I have been coming for years, and we almost never go to the talks and those kind of things because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to see my libertarian family and make a bigger family and meet new people every year. That's what it's about for me. It's about the connections.
Making a bigger family. Is that what happens in the tenant night, Roger?
You know what's great about Porcfest? There was a rave thrown by teenagers last night.
Yes.
There
That's what's
was.
great about
Yes.
Porcfest.
There was.
Yes.
It was
And I bought
literally.
ecstasy from them. Just kidding.
It was.
But I tried. That's not a joke.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was trying to dance last night.
Yes, he was while he was grabbing my ass, full on.
And no, my girlfriend's she's sitting there like, okay, we're going. You're not doing this again. No, I'm not hip anymore. Apparently, I figured that shit out really quick. But what I look forward to Porcfest is actually the back massage booth on. I don't know where that is, but it's in
Crossing the cultural appropriation.
Agora. The cultural
Agora Valley.
Grill,
Yeah, Agora Valley.
right across the street. But no, I'm looking forward to that. That is awesome because she doesn't have a license.
She might break your back, Johnny. Be very careful.
That
she
is-
could break
she
your
might
back.
literally
break
the-
my back.
The most libertarian thing said on this podcast is, I think she's going to do great because she doesn't have a license. That's our mentality is like totally different.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure she's great.
So, any other questions from the audience? Anything?
Yeah, come on up.
Okay, we
Thanks,
got another
Joe.
one coming up.
All right, be sure to state your name and where you're from.
And who you give money to. 'Cause I know the answer.
Tyler Colford from Southern Vermont. And what's your, it's kind of a selfish plug right now, but what's your favorite music genre? And
This guy.
do you dig hip hop or metalcore?
It used to be classic rock, but when Tyler started giving us $25 a month and on Patreon, it became hip hop,
Metalcore and-
what was it you said? Yeah, now
Metalcore.
it's that. I'm easily bought out.
Well, I bet we can figure out what Johnny's favorite music genre is.
Classical.
Yeah, of course it is. Right.
Very much a Chopin guy.
Yeah.
Love Chopin, love Mozart, and actually, believe it or not, actually, it's jazz for me. I listen to
Nice.
jazz all the time, and I do like rock and roll, but there's a very weird, crazy mix in my house.
Yeah.
If she comes over, I play jazz. When she's not there, I play fucking rockabilly, psychobilly.
Nice.
My girlfriend, Jennifer Janston, without a T. Like people.
There's going to be
you want-
stalkers now.
Just
Be
in case
careful.
you want to Venmo her.
So she got a plug now. But no, they can't see. But there's going to be a video on YouTube, and I know it. And it's going to be fucking incriminating. Fuck you if you're recording. But that's cool. I love you. I rockabilly, rock and roll, old school rock and roll. I think that's where the foundations of what we have now. So your metalcore and the classical music wouldn't have existed without fucking rock and roll.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And that's what it's about, man. But rock and roll is great. You know why? Because it makes you fucking like say fuck the world. That's the mentality we got to have
Definitely.
to change it. And they
Definitely.
were the first fucking rebels, man. And those guys broke every rule. And that is why I love those guys. The rock and rollers, man.
So,
America.
I mean, I asked this because I also go by Crypto Man in a rap group, Jinx Inc. I gave a CD to Mark and
me.
and Johnny
I've got
Rocket.
Johnny's in my hotel
And
room. We left it on the picnic
but
table
this
last
is these are for you guys.
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
is
Appreciate it.
fantastic,
Yeah.
dude.
Okay, so Mark Claire just threw me under the bus. Thank you.
I've never heard of metalcore. I do like hip hop though. I enjoy Coldplay. That's my favorite.
As we've been over.
I
Play guy.
I like.
Nice callback.
I work at a classic rock station, and so classic rock ends up. I spend most of my day with it, so you really start falling for it, and how great it is. I love jazz too. I love 50s and 60s soul. Even a little 70s soul is really great. And the Beatles. I mean, the Beatles are my all-time favorite band.
Well, we were talking that one night. We liked Nickelback. We really
Yeah,
liked-
yeah.
They
Look
were
at
really
this
cool.
photograph.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
joking.
I'm in the wrong
fuck
fucking.
no.
I'm,
On that
at,
note.
I'm at the wrong table. So my musical tastes are anything from Adele to Tool.
Yeah.
So I mean I'm wide variety as well. But speaking of music, if you haven't gotten Backwards album, Veracity, Jesus, dude, I'm gonna plug it. Are you serious?
No, I meant.
Dude. I mean Eric July and his group just fucking killed it on that album. And they are going to be here tonight at 8:00, putting on a hell of a show. Tomorrow night, unless it rains, because now it looks like it might rain during that. So.
I'm sad. I wish that Mark would be able to remember that concert, but he won't. Other
I'll
questions?
remember tomorrow. It's tonight that's going to be trouble.
One of my volunteers just walked in. I thought there was a fucking emergency. I was about to freak out. We've had an interesting few days at Porcfest.
Atlas. We need Atlas.
I keep thinking he's Judd Weiss. Like
He kind of does have that look a bit, doesn't he? Yeah. Oh, that's it.
He's the poor Weiss when he lets it all go.
He's the poor man's Judd Weiss.
I meant the hair, by the way, for the record. I mean, it all came across bad.
God damn it.
I meant
Good
with longer
call.
hair.
Good call.
Yeah. Any other questions? Come on. Don't be shy.
Let's end it before Howie comes up with a question.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Hurry the fuck up.
All right. Are you
I know
guys?
Johnny needs a cigarette.
I need a.
The question is, can we get our sign off right live?
Yes. I've been podcasting for 3 hours. I'm tired and hungry. So let's start wrapping this up before I get cranky.
Liberty.
Fuck yeah!
Oh my
We did
God, we got it. Thank you so much,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. That's fun.
All right, we're recording.
All right, so
I thought you said I was going to start.
you're gonna start. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh man, I am here with Johnny Rocket Adams at Porcfest in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Very excited. We just sat down. We just met 30 minutes ago for the first time in person. Let's do an official handshake, even though nobody can see it. There we go.
But you can hear it.
In real life, we hugged though. So
We hugged and swapped some spit, and it was all golden.
and
like a
we
shower.
figured we record something for our listeners, our patron people. This is for patrons, I think.
Exactly.
This will be private. We'll
Yeah,
talk-
it would be.
Talk
So-
about some weird shit in this one.
But
And I just hit record, and we're going to talk. We got no plans, folks.
so it's the
This is the
blast
plan.
off.
Some
And this
point-
is the Lions of Liberty,
This
right?
is Lions of Liberty, Pride. This is the blast off, backstage paths. It's all sorts of shit in one, dude.
It's just a cornucopia of flavor,
Yes.
right? And so, like, guys, Mark Claire is. I just met him in person, and
Tell him how handsome I am, Johnny.
you're a fucking handsome guy. As long as you take off the sunglasses.
I gotta block my eyes from the sun.
Yes, yeah,
Come on, I'm sitting towards the sun here.
yeah. But anyway, so it's
Johnny hates my sunglasses.
I fucking hate them
Makes
because
me furious.
I'm fucking pissed. Fuck you and your sunglasses, dude.
And I apologize to my dad if he listens to this for the excessive amount of cursing that's going to happen.
Dad, you're
Because,
cool. though. But, like, I was hearing about how Mark had
My dad actually dropped me off at Porcfest. It was hilarious. Like, it was the first day of school.
Was it like the first day of school?
Kinda. We had a hug and everything.
Did you get a little sandwich
got a picture?
bag?
We took a
did you get
selfie?
Did you get a lunch bag?
I got no lunch bag.
Did
That's
you
bullshit.
send you off with a
I am
lunch
neglected.
bag?
I got no lunch at all. He's like, you're on your own as far as food, son. But
Very
enjoy Liberty School.
So, Mark, you're gonna love this place. It's definitely it's a completely different atmosphere than you're used to, and
Oh, you got in what, late Tuesday night?
yeah, it's crazy and it's fun, but
What time did you get in? Because you posted at like midnight at the airport. So did you?
I was in massive two shits, and then when I left from there, I went to we got a rental car, and then that was another $160 because we had to go across state lines because we're fucking criminals, and then. After that, we had to get a cab from one of the stops here at Gorham, New Hampshire, and it cost another $100 to get back to the hotel, and then we had to pay for the hotel. So,
Oh, jeez, $100.
no, but it added up.
There ought to be a law.
There ought to be a law, Mark. Fuck, we just need more laws.
There ought to be a lack of laws because I bet that $100 is all 90% regulation, right?
No,
I think maybe like 2%, whatever.
I think it was convenience. $100.
I think it's the fact you're in the middle of nowhere and he can charge whatever the hell he wants to bring you to fucking Porcfest.
No shit, right? So like that's what I was thinking. So.
It's the market, fine.
It's the market, and it's fucking wonderful, and I was cool about paying it.
Because without the market, you would just be standing there.
Right. So, like,
Maybe hitchhiking.
what's hilarious is there's a girl here at Porcfest, Mark.
There's
and
girls here at Porcfest, John?
There's a couple
Is that
of
true?
them. Some of them
Heard some
may
rumors.
question where they're at, but the rest of them you can definitely tell.
There are some. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that.
We're going to be nice to all of our potential listeners because we're
Yeah,
going to try to
we're
get
gonna-
new listeners while we're here.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
turn off new listeners.
Yeah, so there's some women who are attractive, and yet there's some women who are like very beautiful in somebody else's eye. So, but at the same token, it's just been fun here, man. And there's some good people, and they're very. I mean, like literally, dude, I could leave my phone out. I could have $1,000 worth of audio equipment. I've laid it out in front of.
Well, good, because I do have $1,000 worth of audio equipment standing right here in front of me. So
right here.
I hope I don't lose it. I actually want to put my name on it.
And we're utilizing it right
I
now.
want to get some tape and put Lions of Liberty on this just in case I lose it. Not because I'm afraid of getting stolen.
There you go.
Because I want someone to see that and be like,
There you
oh
go.
yeah, that's that drunk guy with long hair hanging out with the other guy and smoke cigarettes.
With the black hair.
So this is being recorded on Thursday. I'm hoping I'll upload it probably later tonight from the Cabot, the Cabot, Cabot Inn.
Yeah, so we're both at the cabin, and then we have they have a great breakfast in the morning.
Oh, really?
Just to let you know,
There's breakfast here too, right?
there is, but it's
We can do a breakfast bang bang.
It's
We
an
can do breakfast.
unconstitutional breakfast at the hotel.
Unconstitutional?
Yeah, it's or continental. Excuse me.
Wait, this breakfast violates the Constitution? There are no guns at this breakfast. It's bullshit. And no free speech.
No, it's a good show.
But they will not make you board British soldiers in your home. So that one's set.
Except for the cleaning ladies. They could be considered British soldiers. They're very aggressive. If you don't put your do not disturb sign up on your hotel, door,
I need
fucked.
to do that. The cabin's great because they said I couldn't check in until 3, and I kind of put my stuff in a room, and I was like, I got my laptop, I got all this booze, I got a bunch of booze at the hotel, by the way. So I need somewhere to put this, and eventually I talked her into just letting me get into the room.
You can put it in my room. Dude.
That's the story. The end is I put it in the room. She just let me do it eventually.
No, I mean,
I asked
my
like 3
room.
times.
My room. If you needed a place.
Yeah, but it's safe in my room, Johnny. So
there you go.
I see where you're going with this.
I see where I'm doing.
And there was just a call on the radio to notify Roger Paxton that I've arrived. So hopefully at some point maybe he'll join us. Maybe he'll sit down and join this podcast. Maybe we'll do an impromptu League of Liberty. Spangle's supposed to be here later this evening.
4 to 5.
And then
so what time is it, Mark? What time? It's 1:00 p.m. New Hampshire time.
Yeah, we got a lot of drinking to do.
Thursday, and I'm here with Mark Claire. And guys at the Backstage Pass, really appreciate you guys subscribing. And this is what Liberty is about.
Whoa, this is creepy. I just uploaded this picture to our Facebook. Yeah. I didn't do this. Look what it said. Facebook said Lions of Liberty is with Johnny Adams. All I did was upload the photo.
That's fucking scary, dude.
That's scary, right?
Yeah.
But whatever. We're here voluntarily.
Yeah.
No one forced me to be on Facebook to upload this picture to our audience.
How many likes we got, though? Because we're
I haven't even posted
both handsome.
Well, 0, because I haven't posted it yet.
We're very handsome people. Me and Mark.
I mean, we are smoking, Johnny. Let's be honest here.
We are.
And I'm not just talking about your cigarettes either. He's literally smoking. I'm sort of smoking.
No, he's vaping. And I'm smoking.
Should we talk about, I don't know, how was your first day? When you were here all day yesterday?
Yeah. I almost got mauled by a black bear.
Mauled? That's not, this story sounds a little more exaggerated than the one I was told.
Yes, but it's for radio, right? We're here at a podcast, Libertarian Convention.
Hey, we're going to live respond to comments of our picture. Lee Laterno said, tell him he needs to keep Rocket Fire on his new show. Are you going to have Rocket Fire in your new show?
Cat got an ass.
By the way,
yes.
I got a bone to pick with you, actually. On your last show, Sherry Voluntary, she's talking to you, and she says, Johnny, have you ever been subjected to Rocket Fire before? And you kind of just said, no, I don't think so. But now technically it's not Rocket Fire, but you have been subject to the Cat's Cradle,
That's right.
the Lions of Liberty version,
right.
several times.
That's right.
So what's up with that? Did you just forget? You just didn't want to plug us? What happened there?
I just didn't want to plug you.
That's the right answer. Bam! I like it.
No, I didn't want to plug you in.
That's your last show. You got to plug yourself.
No, but I mean,
you got to play into the. I know. It's sort of it's a scripted segment. I understand.
I really wanted to play. I said, what's the saddest song I know? And I said, well, I think that saddest show would be, or the saddest song I know would have been the song by Barbra Streisand, "The Way We Were."
The one from Yentl?
I think, was it? I'm not Jewish. I don't fucking know. But I said that
You
song.
don't need to be Jewish to enjoy
No, I don't.
Yentl. But it helps. It does help.
But, by the way, Mark, that breeze feels good. Mark, do you like Neil Diamond? Because if you say yes, I might have to question you.
I don't have a problem with the man. I don't own any albums.
Okay.
I'm not strongly. I might have said yes if you didn't say you'd punch me right before. Because I don't feel like getting punched on Porcfest day one. It would be a violation of the NAP if I liked Neil Diamond. So it would be okay for you to hit me in self-defense.
Neil Diamond sucks.
Self-defense.
Neil Diamond sucks.
You got to define this NAP a little better.
Yeah. Well, we had this argument. So if you guys didn't hear, I'm going to put out a show for the Patreons with Blast Off episode 2 with Will Coley, and he pissed off a bunch of people about the NAP and where he draws the line with it.
On your show you did yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
You pissed people off yesterday?
Oh, I'm sure.
I love when people get pissed off.
No, we had people in the audience who were upset with Will Coley because he said that he would defend if somebody called his wife a bitch or a cunt or whatever, sorry my language, but cunt.
Well, this is the pride, folks.
Yes.
Unless I release this as Monday show because we don't get another show recorded, but that's neither here nor there.
It's fine. But he said that, I would fucking beat a motherfucker.
Right.
If somebody insults my kids or my wife, and then we had a girl come on and says, wait a minute, so you believe in freedom of speech and there's no violence or anything that could aggress upon the NAP? And he was like, I I have some things about me that are not a libertarian, and that is one that holds true. But I'm telling you what, man. If I have my daughter with me here, and
someone said, "Hey, you little c word," I mean, sure, you'd as a human forget.
I was a human
forget
being.
philosophy.
That's why I would fucking beat his
right.
ass.
But I think you might even recognize that you violated the NAP by doing such a thing.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I mean, it might depend. I mean, if someone's literally threatening or using threatening language, there's a point where language becomes a physical threat. If a large man is yelling at your daughter, "Come here, little girl, I'm going to get you," or some shit, then you have every right to beat the hell out of that person.
Right, but that's like
no NAP violated at all.
What Will Coley did say was, and I thought it was a great point he brought up, is like, that's my one thing that may be unlibertarian. And I'm like, I got you. I get it. Because it's an emotionally charged.
Well, look, if I have a friend who's way too drunk to drive and is about to drive, I might grab his keys and physically restrain him if I think he might hurt himself. Technically, that might be a violation. I would just say I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway.
And maybe if he thinks it was the wrong thing to do, he can sue me later, and we'll work it out in Liberty Court.
That's right. But
that should be a show on your network, Liberty Court. We get actual libertarians that
How
disagree.
about if we get like the judge and he does?
Why am I selling you shows for your network? Why am I not? What's wrong with me? No, I got my own network to expand here.
No,
Jeez.
but Mark, idiot, would you mind if I talk about Launchpad Media?
No, go for it, man. This is for everything.
So, obviously, we did the last show with Tom Woods, but it's not the end of Johnny Rocket. It's a new beginning, actually, because what I wanted to do is take the Launchpad to a bigger level, a larger level, and I think it's imperative that what we do is change the culture. And so, the whole purpose of the network is to entertain. It's not there to be another podcast network. We want to do more, whatever profits we get, we want to build it towards, maybe a cool Rothbard documentary, or a cool, a documentary about another great libertarian like Milton Friedman. It would be great to have.
You're going to wrangle some feathers with that one.
No, but I'm not a huge.
I know.
But Rothbard is totally the one I want to do. But what I'm saying is, I think it's imperative that we entertain.
I wonder how much actual footage you can find out there of Murray. I mean, I know there's a bunch of grainy YouTube videos of him talking, but it would be cool if you could find hidden footage of, I don't know, home videos of him hanging out with barbecuing with Walter Block or something.
Well, I think you could probably find that shit at Mises.org. Because I'm sure they'll have it.
Okay, well, I guess I could look at that.
Yeah, we could look at that. But
I want grainy footage in your documentary, okay? If it's not grainy, you put a grain effect on it. I want it to look like some.
What are you drinking right now, man?
I'm drinking a screwdriver. I'm drinking a vodka orange juice.
I'm drinking.
Johnny's drinking straight bourbon and something else. I'm trying to preserve myself a little bit for the whiskey challenge tomorrow, which I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest, when I bought the 2 handles of whiskey for this at the store while my dad waits for me outside, this is hilarious. I started to tremble in fear, to be honest with you, because handles are large. These are not fifths; these are handles.
Wow,
3 people to a handle. It's a lot. Even for professionals like ourselves, it's a lot.
We are professionals, and
even Dale Earnhardt can't drive over a volcano. I mean, professionals have their limits.
They do, and I think we'll probably fail.
That's okay.
But we're all good.
It's all about the journey,
But I tell you what, guys, if you want to go to Porcfest, definitely book your shit in advance. Get a hotel.
You got probably one of the last rooms.
I did.
Yeah, because we had some of the last rooms. He's like, "Oh, we're almost done." Then I told you to get a room.
Oh yeah, dude, I was lucky, and I'm telling everyone, you go to Porcfest, it's fun. It's really fun. Like I was saying,
all I've done so far is hang out with Johnny, but it's been fun so far.
Yeah, and it's a blast. I mean, there's a lot of good people. There's people that, maybe smell a little bit. But
where's Backwards gonna play? I'm trying to get this
Saturday.
No, where? I'm looking around.
The Dash.
In there?
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're gonna clear that whole.
So we're at the VIP tent to our right. And the main pavilion is right there. It's the Dash Pavilion, and that's where they do the big shows, the big speakers. We're small potatoes, though. You know that?
Well, I know we're small potatoes.
Yeah.
That's why we're not on the big advertisement that with all the 40 people that are speaking.
I know. I thought we would be like...
at least me and you. I get why Spangle isn't on there. But just kidding, Spangle, but you're not listening, so it's all good anyway. I mean, we are handsome motherfuckers.
We are. We are. We're handsome.
At least with the right Snapchat filters.
Yes, we're good with the lighting, filters, and everything. But listen, the 2 of the coolest guys from the League of Liberty are here, Aquaman and Superman himself. And
which one am I? Am I Aquaman?
You're
I don't
Aquaman.
remember. Jeez.
Dude, you're Aquaman. Aquaman had the blonde hair though. That's where you.
It's fair.
That's where you got that gig.
He even went through a long hair beard phase. I don't know if you do that in the comics.
Yeah,
in
he
like
did.
the DC in the late '90s, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Nerd alert.
Nerd alert. And
So I'm bearded, long-haired, late '90s Aquaman.
yes,
That's me.
Yes, and
Very
I'm-
specific Aquaman.
And I'm very much 1962 Batman or Superman. Spangle's Batman. I don't know how he got that though.
He get Batman. I love Batman.
I don't know.
Batman would never look like this. He'd be never seen like me, or you, for that matter.
But yeah, this is going to go out to our show, Patreons, and we want to thank you guys very much for supporting us. Right?
Yeah, we do. We sure do. Lions, Liberty, Pride, and is it still called the Backstage Pass? Or is it?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And keep the name. Even though.
Keep the name. Fuck it. Blast off Johnny Rocket.
All right. Well, anyway, this is our introduction to Porcfest. I think we're gonna wind this one down. Unless if Paxton shows up, maybe we'll fire it up again.
Yeah,
but we'll
if
see
he
him
does.
eventually. Till next time, back blast offers, Pridesters. We'll talk to you soon.
Rock and roll.
Oh wait, I gotta turn hold off.